Hey guys, so today I wanted to discuss some INFJ pet peeves slash things that we don't really like or hate. Things that really get under our skin. And I think this can apply to other types, but I think these few specifically apply to the INFJ. So the first one being fake people. I personally had a knack for spotting fake people at an early age. I was very aware as a child. As a young child, and I knew when adults were being fakey, and I also saw it when I went to school and saw people trying to be popular and be something that they weren't, just for people to like them, and that's something that I did not like at all. On that regard, I would also say cliques were kind of go into that. They segue into fakeness. I really do not like cliques, and I don't think other INFJs really like cliques. I don't like when people are excluded just because they are a certain thing. I saw that, obviously you see this a lot in school, especially like when you're in middle school and high school, but I think I saw it the most when I was in college, just because that's when I was actually exposed to it. Because when I was in middle school and high school and before, I had a few friends from different groups, but I wasn't popular at all, and I had very few friends, and I didn't really talk to people in general. So, but in college, I joined organizations, and I know a lot of people join sororities or fraternities, and I'm not saying that those are necessarily fake, but they definitely have a stigma to them. But for me, it was joining organizations like Model UN, and at first it was really awesome. It was a really inclusive group. But then after the first or second year, some people graduated, and you know, obviously there's new people. And I just felt like a lot of the new people, well, especially after the second year, the third year, that's when things really hit the fan. I felt like a lot of people just joined because they wanted to go on a free trip or whatever, what have you, on what that was. But I just saw a lot of fakiness, and I eventually ended up leaving Model UN for other reasons as well, and then just doing it on my own. The other thing, well, now that I have definitely seen cliquish behavior, I won't go into too much detail because I mean, obviously know these people, and I don't want any individual to be necessarily called out. But about a month ago, I had some really good friends over from out of town, and we were planning this party, and I had to do it at another person's apartment, and it was basically, I was friends with these people. I ended up, not like my good friends, but that came, but the people that I'm referring to, I had become friends with, and it was like a forming of different groups of friends into this large group. And it was fun for a while, but like I said, at this party, I noticed that on their table, they had a thing called the fam, and there were a number of people's names that were on the table. Sorry. And, whoa, that is a Zoom, sorry. And so yeah, I was on the table, and yeah, okay, cool, but I noticed that there were certain people's names that were not on the table, and I felt that was very strange because I thought we were all friends with those people, and that's where it was like, okay, is this like a clique? Like, am I in the fam, so I'm cool? And I didn't like that. And actually, I kind of saw the writing on the wall earlier on. I thought there were definitely cracks beneath some of those friendships. I'm not saying specifically with me directly, but from what I could observe from other people, I knew that there were people that were not very fond of one another. And that just happens with larger groups. That's why I don't really like that kind of thing. But anyways, so yeah, that started to dissolve, and before that even dissolved, I just dipped out because I kind of had stopped hanging out with those people. I hang out with individuals, but as a whole, I did not like that kind of behavior. So, and I think a lot of INFJs would agree with that, just people in general, but specifically INFJs. The second one is micromanaging. I hate when people micromanage me. Even if it's something, and I know this sounds really bad because this is not good, but even when it's something that is good for me or is just like a very beneficial thing for my life, when people micromanage me and they tell me over and over that I need to do something, my mom does it, but that's different. Like, parents are different, but even at that, it gets very annoying. I don't want to do it. But I have realized that a lot of authority figures are micromanagers in general, like teachers, professors, managers, bosses in general, and just people like that are typically or maybe not typically, but a large plurality of those people have that micromanaging kind of type to them. And I think that there are certain types that do well with micromanaging. They need that micromanagement, or maybe they have a tendency to micromanage. I just don't think that INFJs neither want to micromanage, nor do they do well with micromanagement. I don't like to be watched doing something, especially. I like to do things on my own, and I'm very self-sufficient in that way. And once you tell me something, I will remember to do it. I mean, there might be little things like my mom, do the dishes. Yeah, I may forget about that, but for the most part, if it's something big, I will remember, so I don't need to be told what to do again. And the third thing I am going to say, or the third thing that INFJs don't really like, is when people are taken advantage of. I guess this one really hits home because I think INFJs in general have the ability to be very persuasive and manipulative. And most INFJs don't use it for bad, but there obviously are two sides of the coin for every type, and there are good, healthy and unhealthy type people within each type. But that being said, for the most part, INFJs do not like when people are manipulated, and especially in a negative way, and we are able to pick up on it very easily. A lot, or should I say more easily than some other types. It's especially us, obviously it's hard if it's a family member or a friend, but I would argue it's even harder for people that I'm not as close with, or even acquaintances, because with family and friends, I can tell them they may not take it well, like they may not believe me, or not even believe me, but they may be skeptical that they're being manipulated or persuaded or something like that, or, you know, whatever. But with people that you don't have that rapport with, it's a lot harder because you're just like, who are you? Like, who are you to tell me who this person is? And they don't know what your intentions are. So I saw that a lot, especially in college, because I could probably write a book about my college experience. I had a very extreme college experience for someone that was not really involved. Well, I very rarely drank. I've never done drugs of any sort. I haven't even tried marijuana. And I was not promiscuous. So for that being said, I had a very extreme college experience. And so I was exposed to a lot of people that like to manipulate others, and I wanted to tell people and really reveal who those people were. But I had found out the hard way that you just can't tell people like that. I mean, you can only help them to a certain extent, but unless it's like a dire situation or like life or death, you have to let people find out for themselves. And you have to just know that people will find out for themselves eventually. And it may take years, but they will eventually they will understand it. But yeah. I don't know what the noise is. Well, there's a noise in the background, sorry. So yeah. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Just a few. And let me know if there's any other things that you really strongly dislike or get under your skin. Again, I'm sorry for my camera's shaky. But yeah, at this moment I wanted to kind of start talking about like the channel. I want to start doing every Tuesday is like Typology Tuesday, where I focus on typology, whether that's socionics, MBTI, Enneagram, or anything similar to that. And then I eventually want to upload 3 times a week or more. And the other day I want to focus more on personal development or just like lifestyle related content, because I am very interested in personal development. I think out of every single thing I've studied, personal development is the deepest and widest range of my knowledge. That's my greatest focus. And I've been heavily studying personal development since I was like 12 or 13. And then the other day I want to do, I guess the third day, I want to do like a weekly vlog. Let me know if you think that you would be interested in watching that, because there's a lot of things that are changing in my life. I have an opportunity to live in California for the summer. So I'm moving from Washington to California. And then I already knew that I was going to do this, but I'm going to, after, I think maybe in August, or hopefully before, I'm going to move to Greenville, South Carolina, back to the East Coast, because there's many reasons why I want to move back to the East Coast. If you didn't know, I moved from Georgia to Washington about a year ago, not even a year ago. But I'm ready to go back, and yeah, so let me know what kind of content you guys want to see. I'm open to other suggestions, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye.